Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, right, we've got Mary, please.
Right, as the Mayor and councillors, have you ever considered that pedestrians who interact with surfaces by foot strike require a very different surface to vehicles? Yet you continue to spend millions on inappropriate surfaces for pedestrians, which will contribute to many falls, hip and knee replacements, and other medical conditions. Improved pedestrian infrastructure will improve residents' well-being too. Healthier surfaces for pedestrians are natural surfaces, but if these don't tick all the boxes, there are now modern surfaces that are softer than concrete and asphalt and porous too. Have you ever walked on a grit path with stones shifting under your feet and stepped onto grass and realised how much quieter and more pleasant the walk is? Or thought about what is preventing the elderly person from using the shared path through the local park to walk to the mall because someone on an e-scooter whizzed so close to her that it no longer seems safe? Please don't use walkers when referring to pedestrians. All walkers are pedestrians, but not all pedestrians are walkers. And just because those that run and jog are faster than those that walk, with both feet often off the ground, the forces through their bodies from foot strike on hard surfaces are greater. By 2051, nearly a quarter of the Christchurch population will be over 65. Are you adapting pedestrian infrastructure for them to get around and also assist the elderly to exercise cheaply and safely for health and well-being? It's sad to read that infrequent maintenance vehicles take priority over pedestrians. Imagine building a road that goes up and down at varying angles for every driveway in a residential street. Will there be an update of these cycle design principles to pedestrian and cycle design principles, given that the shared paths are included in this document, and consider pedestrians in the design? Will there be an update soon, given that there are more e-bikes and also higher e-bikes and e-scooters to consider now? I could spend more than 5 minutes on this slide, but sadly there's no time. Montgomery Spur Reserve, an outstanding natural landscape. Can I recommend all councillors take a walk up Rapaki Track and onto this reserve? The panel who considered altering the reserve's management plan didn't visit before making their decision. It's the closest public Port Hills Ridge to the centre of Christchurch. Note, walkers please follow orange markers. Why is it not safe to wander? I asked for a map of the tracks now that they have all been constructed, but there isn't one, just this area required for the resource consent. I'm not sure where the funds for this were budgeted. Also, the resource consent requires 4 inspections the first year, and the first inspection requires another $27,000. Signage for the mountain bike tracks. Note the track has options: easier, harder, up, down, short, long. The two-way tracks are often 2 parallel tracks, and the little icons to the bottom left of some signs: no pedestrians and no dogs. Yes, I'd like dogs excluded from the Puna Wai to protect athletes and pedestrians generally. I think it's a first for Christchurch City Council, a park with dogs excluded to protect people, but it also excludes pedestrians. Has the outstanding natural environment been compromised? Already 100 metres of compact gravel has been brought in. Soon another 470 metres to satisfy the resource consent. Will that be enough? And the contours have all been altered. Why was safety not considered when considering whether to alter the management plan to introduce an activity which has now made areas of the reserve for the exclusive use of mountain bikers? The decision not to allow pedestrians and dogs on this lower section also helps minimise conflict. Really? Time to consider the Kowhai track. In the original management plan, but not provided for over 10 years. In 2 kilometres, 6 gates to open and close, requiring good hand agility. It has a steep section that a zigzag would have been better, and unnecessary trip hazard wooden steps when strategically placed stones would have been safer and natural. This is the high point of the reserve, with best 360-degree views at this altitude of the Port Hills. But the Kowhai track doesn't go there. Perhaps because on the summit side there is a zigzagging of Taramia mountain bike track where naturally you'd descend on foot. A crossing point of pedestrians and mountain bike tracks. So easy to not notice where the mountain bike track is, especially with so many options and already informal tracks too. Pedestrians and mountain bikers travelling both directions will share this 1.2 metre track on the left to go or come from Rapaki track. Possible conflict? Of course. And there's a summary of the problems as I see them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kelly?
Thank you, Mary. Really interesting. Are you the Mary O'Connor who won the half marathon 11 times?
Yes.
Yes. And represented us at the 1984 Olympic Games in the marathon?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to give you a bit of cred there. Well done.
So I've
You obviously
probably
spend your days...
spent I've probably covered more areas of Christchurch on foot than probably 90% of the population.
Yeah, 99.9 probably, except a few orienteers. So is there a way that we can send these maybe to park staff?
Yes,
Just
we will.
Just some advice from someone who has spent more time in the hills than probably everybody in Canterbury. It's definitely worth noting.
I really would like the councillors to go up and look at this because I just feel that it should have been an area, because it's so close to the bottom of the hills and it's a ridge that doesn't get muddy in winter, where family groups could go up. A 2-hour walk would take you up to that high point for great views on a sunny winter's day and everything. But
To be honest, Mary, I'm not sure most of them would get up there.
but now
You and me are
it's-
different.
Now it's not. I just don't feel it's safe. You couldn't let your children wander on, go ahead on a track or that, because you just don't see the mountain bike tracks.
Yes, well, definitely on some of those mountain bike tracks. We've been down through Victoria Park walking with the family, and it is a bit treacherous. You've got to have your wits about you.
The top part of Victoria Park's just a no-go area.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary, for making the effort. Thank you. Brilliant. Next, we have Amanda. Yeah. We're on a roll, mate. Good to see you again.